Welcome to the Dreadfort, a video series where I discuss and dissect a card for your pleasure. I'm Cameron Davison, and in this episode I'll be discussing Olenna's Cunning from the core set. Remember, a card has few secrets, but a flayed card has none. Finally, Loris, Randall, and Marjorie have a king worth rallying to. With the rise of Renly Baratheon, Tyrell has been getting some more attention as a competitive faction in A Game of Thrones. With the addition of Renly and his Knights of Summer, Tyrell now sits firmly among the fastest factions in the game, along with Greyjoy and Stark. Due to the community's recent interest in one of the more underplayed factions, I feel like it's only right to re-examine one of the often overlooked cards in Tyrell's toolbox, and that card is Olenna's Cunning. First, let's go over the card. Olenna's Cunning is a loyal Tyrell event that costs 2 gold and has a reaction. After you win an intrigue or power challenge, the losing opponent names a card type: character, location, attachment, or event. Search your deck for a card with a different card type, reveal it, and add it to your hand. Shuffle your deck. As a core set card, Olenna's Cunning has been around from the beginning, yet I often don't see it in Tyrell decks that I face or in deck lists that I see online. But why is that? Frankly, I think the 2 gold cost scares away a lot of people. And while there's no denying it is a pricey event, I still think it's worth considering a few things here. First, it is a loyal card, so it can be reduced using fealty. I don't necessarily think that Tyrell fealty is a very popular deck right now, but fealty does help make the event easier to play. However, Tyrell does like Kings of Summer, at the moment at least, so if you are playing that agenda, gold shouldn't be a really big issue there. Or of course there's always Banner of the Lion, in which Tyrion Lannister can easily pay for the cost of the event by himself. Secondly, packs for red wine could help reduce the cost of Olenna's Cunning, as long as it's the first event that you play that round. Packs are also flat out gives you an additional gold each round, so if you're going to include Olenna's Cunning, I think you should probably be playing Paxer as well. He may only have one icon, but he helps you out a lot each round that he's out. And third, despite its price, Olenna's Cunning is ridiculously easy to trigger. I mean, you only have to win a power or intrigue challenge, and that's it. It can be on offense or defense. You don't have to win by 5 or more strength, and you don't need a specific kind of character that's participating. As long as you have the resources to play it and it's in your hand, chances are it's going to fire off that round. I think that's one of the main reasons why it is pricey, and the other reason being that it's just a flat-out strong event. With this card, you're able to literally search your entire deck, excluding one card type, for any card that you want and add it to your hand. While the options may be overwhelming to you at first, after enough practice you should begin to know what to look for depending on the situation. And as a bonus, if you happen to win as the attacker on an intrigue challenge and your opponent allows you to grab an event, you can pull a Tears of Lease and trigger it right away, as long as you have the gold. Alternatively, if you win a power challenge by 5 strength, you can pull Support of the People, play it, and continue to search your deck for a location and put it directly into play. It's a lot of fun to do that and grab something like the Mander and then immediately trigger it because you did win by 5 and draw those 2 cards. Or you can grab something like Superior Claim if your build is more rush focused, and try to seal the deal using Renown and the Power Grab. But chances are that most players won't allow you to fetch another event using Olenna's Cunning, which is why it's important to have answer cards for each card type in your deck, so that regardless of what your opponent excludes from the search, you'll be able to find something great for you and terrible for your opponent. For example, if there's a problematic character on the other side of the table, like Miri Mazdur or Nymeria Sand, you can find Milk of the Poppy and blank them the next round. Or if you have to deal with some pesky attachments like Craven or the Martell Icon Strippers, you can grab a copy of Rattleshirt's Raiders and go to town the next round. Or if you have Randall Tarley or Renly in play, you can grab Heartsbane or Crown of Golden Roses and accelerate the power game. Or if you're simply dying for economy, you can grab a King's Road and relieve some of that strain. And I think that's what makes Olenna's Cunning a great card. There's always something useful you can find with it, and chances are your opponent won't know what the right card type to exclude is when you do play it, because they don't know what's in your deck, and, well, you do. Of course, if you're bannering out to another faction, that also allows for many other different cards to fetch as well. Really, there's unlimited options, and those options are only going to grow as the card pool grows. Perhaps the only Tyrell decks I wouldn't include Olenna's Cunning in is maybe Tyrell Crossing or Winter. Unlike Fealty or Summer, Crossing really doesn't do anything to help you out economically, and with only one icon, Paxter Redwine suddenly becomes an awkward inclusion in a deck where you want to be firing off 3 challenges regularly. And in a Winter deck, while it's not as much of a stretch, you're probably going to be running Mance Raider, some Wildlings, and Winter Plots, and I just don't know if you're going to have room for Paxter and Olenna's Cunning. And Winter Plots do tend to be pretty low gold as well. So yeah, I just don't know if you're going to find room in that kind of deck. But regardless, Fealty or Summer, I think Olenna's Cunning is a natural inclusion.
Reek! That's a good name for you.
And it will remain a valuable and underrated asset in Tyrell's toolbox. I imagine that Kings of Summer will be a popular Tyrell agenda pick for quite some time, and Fealty will slowly become more popular as the card pool grows and Tyrell gets more loyal cards. Maybe like Renly, we just might see Olenna's Cunning begin to have a rise of its own. Well, I think that's going to do it for this episode of the Dreadfort. What card will be next on my rack? Well, I wouldn't want to spoil the surprise, but I can say I have a lot of work cut out for me.